Just wanted to say real quick before the video starts. So part 1 to 2, which you'll see a little cut. I think it's 11 minutes in, part 1 ends, then part 2 starts. They're recorded at different times. So if I'm saying the same thing again or contradicting myself, part 1 was recorded about 9 a.m., part 2 was recorded about 4 p.m. So again, if I'm repeating myself or saying things differently than what I had said previous, it's just I wasn't fully awake at 9 a.m. I was fully awake at 4 p.m. So part 1, yes, it's how I feel, but part 2 is more my actual ideas of the list and everything pertaining to it. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so today we're going to be going over the Gamepress tier list. This is the part 2 of yesterday's video where I tried out Gamepress's best team, aka Saiyans. As you can tell from how the matches went, that team is nuts. Honestly, at first when I constructed it, I thought it would be decent, but realizing that EX Radit's health bench along with Bardock's healing, that was like 600k health I gained on a green card. The Vegeta triple buffing the Gogeta because he's a Saiyan and Saga Shin movies. Namek Goku just being a really good Zenkai bench for Bardock, and then just the team meshing well. It was kind of shocking that it did so perfect, so I'm expecting big things from Gamepress tier list. I check these out when they come out, but never really like in depth, so I'll probably be going over Z tier, S tier, and a couple like nitpicks maybe of tier 1, because I got a feeling I'm not going to agree with all of these placements. So tier Z is okay, Zenkai 1% and Legends Limited is explained. Okay, so they rate them at Zenkai 7. 1% banner units are 7 stars. So like New Metal Cooler, SJ Vegeta, all of them, and limited units are at 3. See, that says at 0.25, and then Broly and Gogeta were at 0.5. Technically, everyone was at 0.5 because the 3 times guaranteed Legends Limited step. So I think this should be changed, this area, to, I don't know if I'd say 6-star, but 4-star maybe, because it's double the rate right now, at least for both the new banners. So I don't know, maybe it should be changed, maybe not, who knows. So the first fighter is Z tier is Gohan. Yeah, I mean, Gohan is nuts. He's the best character in the game. You could throw him on a random team with Rival Universe with no buffs, and he'll do better than probably every single character on that team. He's just dumb. You can't. There's no explanation. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think the only reason he is Z tier is just because he draws that strike on switch in. If he didn't draw that strike, I'd say he's mid-S. High stats. Draws a strike on switch. Gains ki. Ultimate doesn't let you heal, and can feint. Can it? Yeah, that is him, yeah. And can feint, counters Goku Black in 2 hits. Does pretty neutral damage on disadvantage as well. Yeah, that's true. 18, I hate her, because she's so good. She does more to Saiyans, so that's a problem. And Super Saiyans, I think. Draws a strike every time doesn't draw a strike. She gets card draw speed every time your opponent switches, which is nuts. That's like what the new Broly does, but I think Broly does it better just because he gains more on it, but I'll talk about him later. 18 is nuts. Her team is nuts. Easily a top 3 team in the game, I would say. I think they would rate it the same. Just overall an overwhelming, oppressive character that really shouldn't have been as good as she is. Yeah, none of these characters should have been as good as they are, honestly. Gogeta, again, he just does so much damage where it's just like not fair. And if you pair him with the last Z tier unit, which I disagree with, Bardock, Gogeta, I don't even know, like, it's kind of absurd, his damage. Like, he could hit harder than LF Gohan Last Man Standing in the first 5 counts of a match if you get Bardock crits. Like, Gogeta's probably one of the... Well, he is one of the best characters in the game. And... I don't know. I think his green card being so much better than LF Gogeta makes him just that much more amazing. Because you could kill like a Vegito Blue one combo, no Bardock switch in, no nothing, just raw Gogeta if you get a green card off. And that's not hard to do because it seals the blast. It doesn't let you do anything because it's such a awkwardly timed long animation, because Gogeta LF is like a short animation. So you wait like maybe 1 count, it's done. I think this Gogeta is like a 1.5 to 2 second animation. So your window is very strange to like hit him with the strike because it still might be going on, then you're screwed. Or if someone goes for tap attacks a lot, they're screwed. They lose a unit, that's it. Someone's dead. I think he's just too good. Along with getting a feint, along with he heals on main with his ult. Like, I don't know, dude. He's just nuts. Bardock, I don't agree with Z. Bardock's really damn good. Bardock is the king of blue, blue, purple right now with Broly, with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Bardock's the king of the Saiyan team with Super Saiyans as his allies, but Bardock himself is a watered down Super Saiyan Blue Goku to me. And I'd be surprised if Super Saiyan Blue wasn't the first unit in S tier. Bardock can heal with his green, same as Super Saiyan Blue. He gets his Vanish back with his, when you pop his ult, not when you pop his main, when you pop his ult, gains card draw speed. Super Saiyan Blue does the same in both those categories. But Super Saiyan Blue hits harder, newer unit, so he has better stats, and has a support buff. So you can start a match with Super Saiyan Blue, you can start a match with Bardock. But Super Saiyan Blue's support overall is just more lethal than Bardock's. Bardock's is like, you gotta hope for it to work. Goku, it's guaranteed. So I think, if not take Bardock out of Z, then replace him with Super Saiyan Blue. But I think the first 4 easily, 100% correct. But the Blue Boys, I think they're interchangeable / Bardock shouldn't be there. He's, I think, a little overrated because of the new Broly and how they could work together, since there's not really a god tier green that can be as overwhelming as like Gogeta, Zenkai 7 Gogeta Red that does neutral damage to blues. Like Goku Black, for example, isn't as overwhelming as he could be. He's god tier Goku Black, but he doesn't do as much as he could to where he could handle blue, blue, purple on his own. So I think that's why they rate Bardock so high. It makes sense in theory, but the unit just isn't there to me. Now to S tier. Okay. Let me look at this real quick. Alright, that's it. Only 8 characters, huh? I see a little dilemma here, but I think I understand why who is where they are. Alright, so Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Zenkai 7, as you can see, by the way, it's literally all Zenkais up here. Kind of ridiculous. The first non-Zenkai is actually Cell, which... But Super Saiyan Blue Goku, as I just explained, he's a better version of Bardock. God Key is, in my opinion, also a top 3 team in the game. Not much else. I mean, he's honestly just the mold that makes God Key good, because he's the tank you want. He's a support unit. He does damage. He gets card draw. He gets Vanish back. He can heal. He does everything possible in the game that you'd want, but the only downfall is you gotta wait a little bit for him to like ramp it up. So I think he's just nuts. Namek Goku. I'm curious the explanation why he's here. Yeah, why this tier? Okay. His blue card, which is really easy to kind of get around. Okay, and yeah, I guess because his buff, it's really nice, but him himself, I don't think is fit for highest tier. Maybe a low. Maybe like he replaces Boo, and Boo is dropped down. But nah, Namek Goku isn't it really? I mean, I've never had an experience with Namek Goku where I'm like, holy shit, this character just two-carded. I don't know who's a tanky unit. Let's say a yellow Vegito. I've never had that, or I never had him like 4-card a Kefla. Because it's not just something you see. And Red Cell, okay, so Red Cell and S, third spot. I think Red Cell actually should be above Namek. Namek should probably be lower than put Red Cell. Okay, this is what I don't get right here. Red Cell's right here. Red Cell's great, right? Champa does the same thing as Red Cell, and Champa's tier 1. Down with, honestly, more or less trash. I don't get it. God Key's a better team. Rival Universe is a better team than Future. Maybe the Cell is meant to be ran on Androids, but if you run Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, who again should be higher than tier 1 with Red Cell, he'll get more cards, do more damage, sub counts down twice. Cell should be higher. Cell's underestimated. Yeah, that's all on that. Topo might be a little overestimated. He supports. He's literally LF Gogeta, but better. He's a jack of all trades, which Gogeta isn't even that because he doesn't support. And he has endurance with a main ability that locks in with the ultimate on activation. I think he's good for what he is. He's the best of the 3 Rival Universes units for Pride Troopers. But I think he should be a little lower. Maybe... never mind, I guess, yeah. He kind of fits where he should be, just that his team is really lacking. I think it's also underestimated as well, but we'll discuss that soon. Goku Black, phenomenal unit. Squishy, but phenomenal. Just kind of tedious to play against as well if you're not type advantage against him, because he removes 5 key per card used if you're the opponent. He has 10-year-long combos with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He has card draw, his green draws cards, his main draws a new hand. He has everything, and his green card heals. A new hand, and heals, and key. It's really, I think his green card's probably one of the best of the game. Frieza himself is very good. If his green card could chain, I know it's probably like, what the fuck, that's fucking broken if that existed. But, I mean, I don't know. I think it's more because his ultimate doesn't have blast armor, that if his green card chained, it would, it would make him more desirable. Again, he's better than Gogeta, a little worse than Broly. I mean, his placement here is probably correct. Maybe you could swap Goku Black or Topo. Those 3 are kind of like in the same realm. You just swap them up. And then Goku's way too high rated. Namek, by the way. But, yeah, Frieza, he could be swapped around. LOE's just kind of mid right now. It's not dead, it's mid. Because you could run LF Frieza, EX First Form Frieza, and then this Frieza. And you could do numbers, you're facing Saiyans that EX Blue Frieza is going to pop off. And there's not many greens running around. As you can see, there's not many God tier greens in Z. Look, there's none. So, his placement's fine. Broly? Okay, so I think of these characters in their ideal, optimal situations, as well as them individually. Broly, I would swap with Namek. Because Broly is a better 18. He is. There is nothing wrong with Broly. Sure, you're gonna have him at low stars, even 3 stars. I've been using him at 3 stars. I put out videos on him at 3 stars. He doesn't care. He hits as hard, if not a little less, than Zenkai 718 at 3 stars on his optimal teams. Bardock or not, he just hits so hard, gets his Vanish back when they switch, gets card draw when they switch, throws an enemy out so he gets card draw, guaranteed one time, green card gets card draw. He's just too oppressive because you don't know. If you're facing a Broly, you're like, okay, he just did 7 cards on me, he just killed my character. No way he has a strike card or a key or something. But he will. He just always has something. It's stupid playing against him because he's so tedious and so oppressive. You can't predict him because you don't know. Because you don't know a card draw times 3. You don't know how it is because nobody has that, like, consistently. Broly is probably the only character in the game that could have card draw times 3 consistently through a match. If not times 3, times 2, which I think it's 2 cards per 1 count for times 2. It's stupid. You can't. I think Broly's underrated. Even for 3 stars, I think he's really underrated here. I'd say top of S, replace him with Namek. Boo! I mean, you see it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 blues here. Regen is very strong for what it is right now. It hasn't been buffed at all, but Regen is very strong with Red Cell. He can lower sub counts and then take a rush. DKP steals balls, and since balls are, at least for the first combo, like if your opponent has 3, you'll have 3. You can literally count the Dragon Balls after the first combo, and you'll know, like, oh, I'll get my rush in 15 counts with DKP, just like the old system. And with Boo on the team, you go to DKP, you catch him, what? You catch him sidestepping, maybe they're mid-animation so they're stuck. Do a blast arts, swap to Boo, he's gonna kill. He's gonna kill anything. Maybe not Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but anything else he's gonna kill because nothing's gonna be on cover if you're just catching them mid-sidestep. Boo is very good. Do I think he's needed for C7? No. I think Z3 Boo is fine. I think he's one of the only Z3 units that are fine at Z3. Locking strikes is probably the stupidest thing in the game with how busted it is. And with the meta being strikes, I mean, you can't do much about it. Most of the best units in the game are strike-based. Strike-based Gogeta, strike-based Goku, 18, Bardock, Gohan. Yeah, but, I mean, Gohan's just broken regardless. He's going to kill Boo in one hand if he has any support buffs going on. Now, some of Tier 1 I want to critique, and then I'll wrap this up. Tier 1 I want to critique. Okay. So let me scroll down a little bit. Tier 1, let's see it all. Alright. To the bottom of Tier 1, I'm going to start where I disagree. So, bottom portion all the way up to Broly, I agree. Bergamo, I disagree. No. Bergamo greater than Dispo, yes. But Bergamo himself, no. Bergamo is a better Buuhan than when he was on release. What I mean by that is, Buuhan on release was amazing. You could win with Regen easily against Super Vegito on his release. No sweat because Buuhan was just so stupid. Bergamo is Buuhan. His green card's the same exact thing. Plus he has an ultimate. Plus he does stupid damage. Tanks better. He does everything Buuhan could have done and mixes it with Fat Boo. And just does it amazingly. Bergamo really is underrated. I do my adventures. Really is underrated. I think he should be, if not high tier 1, low S, but he really needs to go up. Majin Vegeta, I think he's fine where he is. Could he be bumped a little bit? Yeah, but I don't know. I just pulled him and got to 3 stars, and his damage was nuts for a 3-star LF. It felt like I was using Broly with his damage numbers. Again, optimal ideal team, but it really felt nuts. Cooler, I agree. That means EX Freeze is really low, which I'll disagree with. I mean, not much to get into. You know he's good. It's just Gamepress. Some of these units aren't really ranked properly. Kid Trunks, yeah, fine. These 3, I agree. Trunks, Gohan, Kefla. Vegeta Blue, I agree. Gogeta, I agree. Champa, I disagree. Vados, I disagree. Jiren could be bumped up a little bit, sure. But Champa and Vados, nah. Any unit who is manipulating subcounts since this update, where you can swap multiple times, is easily 20 times better than they ever were. Champa is amazing. I think Champa actually, a 6-star Champa or 7-star compared to Gogeta Blue is equal to, if not better than Gogeta Blue. That's how I see him. Champa, Vados again, along with Bergamo, should probably be, like I said, top of tier 1 to low S, but they really shouldn't be middle of the pack units. Nah. Goten's only good because he supports Gohan. I get it. 16 I think is overrated here. You will never have a 16 pop off on you just because how hard every other unit hits. 16 can't sustain that damage because majority of the matches you see Z tier, Super Saiyan 3 Goku's there, he exists. You're not going to be able to sustain a full combo with 16 and then his buffs are done. He'll buff your ally, sure, but that unit himself doesn't do anything. He's just there to exist for a Zenkai. Purple Super Saiyan Blue, I'm glad he has the respect he deserves. Like I just said, with Goku Black and Cell, this guy's a menace, really. And again, I'll probably post a video tomorrow, I think, with this team I'm speaking of. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Goku Black, Cell. I don't lose a match just because the team is so stupid, given I'm using them at these high stars, but the team itself with no Zenkai feels like, I'd say top 7, which anything in the top 10 teams is enough to get you top 100 PvP, top 200, top 50, really, anything. Just have the stars and the Z power in the right areas, then you're there. Beerus, overrated. I run him on my God Key more to bench for Vados, but if I bring him in, I'll never be like outstanding with his damage. He's just overrated. UI's like, I think UI should be a little higher because you can make so many different play styles based off of how UI works. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you let someone go up to you and try to hit you once. Then they instantly click a blast. You can PV that. And then you have a combo set up. You did nothing. And then you PV'd because you knew they'd attack again because they want your bar gauge gone. You have a combo free if you can predict how these people are going to try to get your bar to go down. It gives you more time to learn your opponent. And the more time you have to learn who you're playing against, the more time you can predict them. And the easier it is to predict them. I think that's his greatest attribute, and no other unit can beat that. So I think mid-S for him, just because he allows you to learn how to play against somebody, because he gives you more time. DKP, like I said, top of S, maybe not. I'd say he takes a spot of 16, and 16 just drops down to the floor. Beerus also drops down, probably replaced by Vados. Champa, probably above Yellow Goten, he goes down like 2 spots. That's that. DKB is just stupid. I mean, the Dragon Ball stealing, his damage. The only issue is the reds, but there's not really many relevant reds that are coming. in this meta. It's mostly blue, purple. You'll see some Saiyans, you'll see some God Ki. God Ki has no good red. It's a mixed bag with Regen. It's like, if you have the normal matchup that's gonna be blue, purple, or Sun Family, you could win it, but it's not likely. But if you're playing like someone that's using Rival Universe, that should be your match in the bag, you know? So it's a mixed bag with Regen, but DKP alone is really good. I was gonna comment on something. Screw it, I forgot. But yeah, again, like I said, the first part before I stop recording and start again, this should be to 4 stars, maybe even 6 with this. I don't know if it's a new rate that's happening, but it's 0.5 for every LF in the game right now, besides UI, funny enough. I mean, yeah, it should be 4 or up, which makes a difference. Stats make a difference. You know, you go for a 9-star unit because that's the biggest stat gain. 3-star to 4-star is a stat gain, so everything makes a difference here. But that's how I changed the list up a little bit. Nothing major, really. Maybe just the underrated units would be bumped really high to me. But how I see the list is probably different than how they're seeing it. Maybe they're just seeing the damage. And like, oh, this team can win the quickest, or this team has the least trouble. But the way to win the quickest, or have the least trouble, is by learning how your opponent plays. And I'm going to go back to UI on this. Or anybody that restores Vanish, any unit that can vanish twice, do something multiple times that allows you to learn during the match, and you can use that to your advantage, is a better unit than anyone else in the game. And none of these 5 have that. The best unit, to me, personally, would be Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Because he does the UI. He does UI's mechanic. He gets Vanish back, given it's only once, but he has the mechanic of learning how to play against somebody. So I think that's the most valuable thing in this game. Probably disagree with it. It's fine. I don't mind. It's all subjective anyways. But yeah, let me know what you thought. This is my opinion on their list / changes I'd make. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.